English Kings Timeline. Here we go. William I was born in Mallaise, France around 1028 AD. He became King of England on October 14, 1066 and died on September 9, 1087 from an infection. Ruling for just under 21 years. William II was born in Normandy in 1056 AD and became king in 1087. He died in 1100 after getting shot with an arrow, ruling for 13 years. Henry I was born in England in 1068 AD and became king in 1100. He died in 1135 from food poisoning, ruling for 35 years. Stephen was born in Blois, France around 1094. He became king in 1135 and died in 1154 from falling, ruling for 19 years. Henry II was born in Le Mans, France in 1133 and became king in 1154. He died of disease in 1189, ruling for 35 years. Richard the Lionheart was born in Oxford, England in 1157. He became king in 1189. He died by getting shot with a crossbow in 1199, ruling for 10 years. John Lackland was born in Oxford, England in 1166. He became king in 1199 and died in 1216 of dysentery, ruling for 17 years. Henry III was born in Fontainebleau, France in 1207. He became king in 1216. He died of a stroke in 1272, ruling for 56 years. Edward I was born in Westminster, England in 1239. He became king in 1272. He died in 1307 from dysentery, ruling for 35 years. Edward II was born in Carnarvon, Wales in 1284. He became king in 1307. He died in 1327 from murder, ruling for 20 years. Edward III was born in Windsor, England in 1312. He became king in 1327. He died of a stroke in 1377, ruling for 50 years. Richard II was born in Bordeaux, France in 1367. He became king in 1377. He died of murder in 1399, ruling for 22 years. Henry IV was born in Old Bolingbroke, England in 1367. He became king in 1399. He died in 1413 from disease, ruling for 14 years. Henry V was born in Monmouthshire, Wales in 1387. He became king in 1413 and died of dysentery in 1422, ruling for 9 years. Henry VI was born in Windsor, England in 1421. He became king in 1428. He was deposed in 1461, ruling for 33 years. Edward IV was born in Rouen, France in 1442. He became king in 1461. He lost the throne in 1470, ruling for 9 years. Henry VI made a return to the throne in 1470 and died a year later in 1471 after being killed. Edward IV then took the throne once again in 1471 and died in 1483 from unknown causes. Ruling for 12 years. Edward V was born in London, England in 1470. He became king in 1483 and died of illness the same year. Richard III was born in Northamptonshire, England in 1452. He became king in 1483 and died in battle in 1485, ruling for 2 years. Henry VII was born in Pembrokeshire, Wales in 1457. He became king in 1485 and died of tuberculosis in 1509, ruling for 24 years. King Henry VIII was born in the Palace of Placentia in England in 1491. He became king in 1509. He died in 1547 of natural causes, ruling for 38 years. Edward VI was born in Molesey, England in 1537. He became king in 1547. He died of tuberculosis in 1553, ruling for 6 years. Lady Jane was born in Leicestershire, England in 1537. She was crowned queen in 1553 and was removed 9 days later. Mary I was born in Greenwich, England in 1516. She became queen in 1553. She died of illness in 1558, ruling for 5 years. Queen Elizabeth I was born in Greenwich, England in 1533. She became queen in 1558. She died of blood poisoning in 1603, ruling for 45 years. James I was born in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1566. He became king in 1603. He died of dysentery in 1625, ruling for 22 years. Charles I was born in Fife, Scotland in 1600. He became king in 1625. He died of execution in 1649, ruling for 24 years. Charles II was born in London, England in 1630. He became king in 1659. He died of a stroke in 1685, ruling for 26 years. James II was born in London, England in 1633. He became king in 1685. He was deposed in 1689, ruling for 5 years. William III was born in The Hague in the Netherlands in 1650. He became King of England in 1689 along with Mary II, who was born in London, England in 1662. Mary II died of smallpox in 1694, ruling for 5 years, while William III died in 1702 of an injury, ruling for 13 years. Queen Anne was born in London, England in 1665. She became queen in 1702. She died of a stroke in 1714, ruling for 12 years. George I was born in Hanover, Germany in 1660. He became king in 1714. He died of a stroke in 1727, ruling for 13 years. George II was born in Hanover, Germany in 1683. He became king in 1727. He died of acute aortic dissection in 1760, ruling for 33 years. George III was born in London, England in 1738. He became king in 1760. He died of illness in 1820, ruling for 60 years. George IV was born in London, England in 1762. He became king in 1820. He died of upper gastrointestinal bleeding in 1830, ruling for 10 years. William IV was born in London, England in 1765. He became king in 1830. He died of heart failure in 1837, ruling for 7 years. Victoria was born in London, England in 1819. She became queen in 1837. She died of a stroke in 1901, ruling for 63 years. Edward VII was born in London, England in 1841. He became king in 1901. He died of illness in 1910, ruling for 9 years. George V was born in London, England in 1865. He became king in 1910. He died from illness in 1936, ruling for 16 years. Edward VIII was born in Richmond, Surrey, England in 1894. He became king in 1936. He resigned the same year. George VI was born in Norfolk, England in 1895. He became king in 1936. He died in his sleep in 1952. He ruled for 16 years. Elizabeth II was born in London, England in 1926. She became queen in 1952. She died of old age in 2022, ruling for an astounding 70 years. Charles III was born in London, England in 1948. He became king in 2022 and is still king to this day.